What are the topics already covered here during this glorification? Exactly on Indradumna Maharaj or any other topics? If you can speak exactly Indradumna's tank or that Sarovar is not properly complete. I have to speak something about Indradumna's coming here and doing some, havans or flag sacrifice and Ashwamedh like that. Gradually, how he is just instructed by the Lord to make a big temple and how he started it, all these things. Interrelated link topics are here.
Maharaj, whatever you wish to speak, you can speak, Maharaj. You can speak, Maharaj. Any topic you prepare something, no, Maharaj, you can share it, Maharaj.
Because some topics on the exact points I had just prepared to do, and once some position is there, audience are ready for listening something, I speak something, that I don't feel better. And because King Indradumna was from, Avanti, and he was here as per the desire of Supreme Lord Jagannath. It is mostly explained in Skanda Purana, so also in Niladri Mahodaya and Niladri Mahatmya. You can find it in that way. So here he was just, he was a good receiver of Lord Vishnu, and he has that desire to how I can meet my dear Lord and to serve Him well. Because in His heart, Lord is there, always existing within our heart, and Lord is there. Services of the Sabnevista. But still He wants to have a reciprocation with the Lord in that way. And as per the desire or providential arrangement of the Lord, He sent His representative Vidyapati, who after traveling, that time it was not possible to come by any means, so we have to walk. So ultimately here is the deity Nilamadham in the cave where he was worshipped by Vishwavasu, the hunter. And ultimately, it only explains how he had married to Vishwavasu's daughter and how the daughter had made arrangements without the knowledge of the father, how he had followed him and ultimately met Nilamadham, and Nilamadham disappeared. And Vishwavasu was crying. The Lord told that I will be here again in the form of Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, 3 lakhs of that form. So you can have that darshan and you can have that worship, you can worship in that way. So ultimately, Vidyapati got the good opportunity of darshan, and the flowers, the sacred rupees, everything was offered to the Lord by Vishwavasu, who was a very dear devotee of the Lord, and it has a nice fragrance which he had brought with him to show to the king that that is the place which is still waiting for your kind arrival and to develop with the temple and deities installation and deities to be made, everything. So ultimately, king was very much impressed with that. Even while walking, he was coming here in 2 months and going back to King Indradumna to the similar timings. And when he showed him the proof that now he had seen Nilamadham with that, that sacred rupees, the tulasi leaves offered to the Lord and the flowers, everything, how it is smelled so brilliantly, and ultimately king was very much desirous to how can I move to that place. Ultimately king came and with his all companions, and he saw that deities is not there, Nilamadham from the cave, it is vanished. So he thought perhaps Vishwavasu had kept it somewhere hidden and I want to have it. When he was going to attack Vishwavasu, immediately the message from the sky was that don't do that, he's my dear devotee. And I will make a talent that you will have darshan in another form. I myself had made Venice so that my new deities are that to be revealed the truth to the world in this Kali Yuga, as Jagannath Baldev Subhadra will come out for you. So ultimately, Raja, the king was refrained from it, and he just waiting what I can do. In this way, he was actually Gundicha temple is his place of residence at that time, and he just made it a point because Indradhan's queen was Gundicha, in her name that is Gundicha temple. So she was there, and king was there, and ultimately, as it was explained in our inaugural day, first day, 7th of this month, evening 7th, Krishna Maharaj was speaking how it was just starting, and other Maharaj, Government Maharaj, and this Gwaranpuri Maharaj was also explaining that how it was just Lord's desire that the same words of the Lord was in practical state. It came as in Bhakti Mohan is there. We will go, maybe I think most of you had already covered the Sikhetra Parikama and to Parikama to the same, and you will see there is a place called Bhakti Mohan where the locks of that wood is just reached there, and nobody was able to just lift it because it was a transcendental item. It is not a common log of wood. And ultimately, the king himself, the Vidyapati, Vishwavasu, and who are the selected persons, they touch it is like a just small, very light item. They say इसका कोई weight नहीं है, weightless नहीं है, it's भारी छत नहीं है, it is not so weight, so they lifted it, and when they are going to cut it again, the same dream came. Having a golden axe, you have to touch it and it will be there. So in that way, that was just kept to that Gundicha temple, that side, where Lord has his first time such when he was going in the chariot to this place. But who knows that what it is to be formed? So immediately the heavenly voice told that the carpenter itself will be there to do it, don't bother about it. And ultimately Lord himself sent Vishwakarma to do it as per his desire. The forms which was expected by Narada Muni at Dwarakapuri when Mother Rohini was explaining the pastimes of the Lords to the 60,108 queens, where the Subhadra Devi was just remained guard at the door so that the brothers should not able to come because their pastime, their glorification, all transcendental, they may be attracted to them. And ultimately, that so happened, they came and they were obstructed by Subhadra Devi stretching her hands at the main entrance door of that hall. And ultimately, when they heard that pastimes, they just became overwhelmed. What's really the transcendental or this nectarian pastimes is explained by our Mother Rohini. But it was the instruction of Mother Rohini to Subhadra Devi, when both the brothers will come, just intimate so that they can close the topic. But all were enchanted with the glorification of the transcendental pastimes of the Supreme Lords, so they are not put any attention to it. Ultimately, it is the desire of the Lord. So, brothers and sisters, they are with 8 symptoms of ecstasy, with dilated eyes of both the brothers, including Subhadra, and they are just strengthened of their hands and legs, and they are just very much over anxious to hear about their own pastimes, and they are just very much, all the symptoms are there. So when Narad was coming every day to Dwaraka, the darshan of the Lord, doing different individual palaces of the queens, firstly he came first to Rukmini's, Rukmini's palace, then to other palaces. So he was calling and he heard something is there. She was the long distance of the transcendental thoughts of their lordships, including Sister Subhadra. So he was very much aroused and he was just with his dinner, he just came and singing the glories of the Lord. In his presence, the Lord came to consciousness that, oh, Narada is here. So ultimately they come to their original birth, but Narada prayed them that I want this former Swami Mahabhav Prakash should be worshipped in Kali Yuga, so that the people of Kali Yuga will be well benefited by looking at the form or worshipping or Krishna Seva. So accordingly this date is to be made, and it was made, it's supposed to be done by 21 days, but before that Queen Gundicha requested Indradumna that no sound is coming, how can we will be sure that old and that very weak gentleman is there or is alive or left his body. There the king with his force opened the door and neither saw the gentleman the carpenter or nor that the most expert speaker of the day. I am sorry that I am beginning to rant that. Ultimately, no, I will finish. I came to that point here already repeated. That disturbed me a little. When somebody is invited, why not ask me to come? And I had forgotten today to told Maharaj that as meeting Maharaj in his place, as I forgotten the Maharaj that invited me to, but I have no idea. Maharaj, sorry for that. So ultimately he is here. He is the best speaker. I don't know. He has his voice and everything. So I will finish within 5 minutes. I'm sorry. So ultimately, he just saw the deities not hearkening but heart desired by the Lord, as desired by Narada Muni. And ultimately they were there, and anyhow it was the Lord's pastimes. Thereafter King Indradumna made the temple, and this huge temple was there, but the cutting piece of the stones, everything was from that place where the deities were made. Original place where Gundicha Queen was there and King Indradumna was there, and so many elephants were also utilized, and they came and just brought it here and they made the temple, and ultimately they want to invite Brahmaji to come and say what day, which period this date is to be inserted, and Brahmaji came, and Brahmaji ultimately, it was a long time for Indradumna to come to that Brahmaji's palace, that's abode, that is Satyalok, Brahmalok. One day in Brahmalok is 1 year in earthly planet. Ultimately he went there, prayed Brahmaji and brought Brahmaji, but before Brahmaji came, so many crores of years had passed, and it was the temple was covered with that sands, everything. The Galamada who was at that time ruling in the he was coming. With the nail of that horse, he could know that something is here because some stock of these nails are there at the top of that temple. So he just removed the sands and the temple came out. She was very much attracted, and anyhow it was declared that Galamada made the temple. But later on this Kapa Bhusanda Kaka was there. He just told no, it was by King Indradumna, not by this Galamada. Still, Indradumna was so much just very humble devotee like this Ambarish Maharaj. He was very simple life as maintained. As a devotee of Lord Krishna, definitely who are having good qualities, they are not so much puffed up. They are always humble, meek and humble. Tunanga Vishnu Nichana Tamuri Vasaishmana Amani Namanudana Kirtaniya Sadahari. So in this way, he just greeted him. No, you can serve also here. I have all respect to you with all reverence. Please don't be disturbed. And ultimately, he was also there in this way, this month, and that pot itself where there is with different, there are size of stones here taken out for this temple. That was rather turned as a this cooker or this pond where devotees at large farming and sprinkled water while parikrama and getting the blessings of Indradumna and all his transcendental activities and glorifying the Lord, and ultimately they are getting the blessings. So please, my dear God brother, and he is also senior sannyasi, His Holiness Krishna Maharaj, in his heart all these pastimes of the Lord are there. He is here to explain it. Sorry for my interference here. I am not supposed to be here. By the request of Atmārāmānanda Prabhu and Ananda Prabhu is here. I got good association of all of you. And I am here to listen. It is probably providential arrangement that should hear more from His Holiness, so that my heart will be clear and I will become a good devotee of the Lord and serve the Lord well accordingly. Hare Krishna. Jai Sri Sri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Sudarsana Devaki. Jai Sri Prabhupada Ji Maharaj Ki. Jai Sri Gurudev Ki. Jai Sri Kshetra Parikrama Ki. Jai Samved Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki. Jai South Indian Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki. Nidai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Gaur. Vacha Kalpatarubhyascha Krupa Sindhubhyacha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namah. Jai Anant Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai.
Hare Krishna, Ishwara Bhakti Vilasan Atmārāmānanda Swami ki Jai.
My name, Jayapataka Maharaj, Guru Maharaj, His Holiness, Bhakti Vilasan Atmārāmānanda Krishna Chaitanya Swami. I pray Maharaj, this long name I can't understand, so please minimize shorting. Now I told you, remember, always make it a point that you have to keep it in mind. Wherever you are going, any class, give a script to somebody, the announcer. This is name given by me. I am the representative of Guru Maharaj. Don't make it broken, don't make it short. My instruction, don't try to just utter the short name. It will all be total name. You should see, you should speak and others to recite also. So please, I can't carry out.
Thank you, Maharaj. Sorry, Maharaj, extremely sorry. That's a lot of interest. Hare Krishna, Maharaj. Hare Krishna, next speaker Kata. His Holiness Bhakti Purushottam Swami Maharaj is here. We welcome His Holiness Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj, so we can hear from him the rest of the Jagannath. Hare Krishna.